Hi. Hi. Hello there. Can you hear me? Hello. Zach M. Can you hear me? Oh, good. You're awake. Now I know this might be startling, but I need you
Who
to
said
just
that?
remain calm and hear me out. Just listen to me, okay?
What am I doing here? What do you want from me? What's a Zach Milne? What's going on?
It's okay, Zach. You're my innie.
An innie. Like a belly button.
I am your outie.
Also like a belly button?
Made this recording to help you understand what's going on. You see, we're a bit of a geek.
Yeah, that checks out.
Through that door behind you is where I reside. You see, when you come in here, you have no memory of what happens out there. And when you leave, you have no memory of what happens in here. I severed myself as a way to constantly be able to watch and review movies without real life getting in the way. That's where you come in.
So you're telling me that my entire existence is to stay in this room, watch and talk about movies for the rest of my life? That doesn't sound too bad, actually. What are we talking about today? Hey guys, and thank you for joining me for another review where today we are talking about a new Apple TV Plus series, Severance. Yeah, I didn't really know what Severance was. I never heard when it was announced. I didn't know it was coming out. Me and Cass just kind of stumbled upon it, and a bunch of people on the internet just started talking about it. And from the very first frame of this show, I was hooked. So for those of you who don't know, Severance is about these group of people that work for this corporation known as Lumen. And in order to work for this corporation in their departments, they have to forego a procedure known as being severed, which basically splits your brain in half so that when you go to work, you have no memory of who you are on the outside. And when you're at home, you have no idea what you do for work or what you did at work. And the person that you are when you go to work is referred to as an innie. And those are the group of people that we mostly follow throughout this series. And that's one of the things that I found really fascinating about this show is the fact that for the majority of the show, we just spend time with the innies in their work environment in this kind of surreal, off-putting world. Aside from the main character, Mark, played by Adam Scott, we don't follow the rest of the cast outside into their personal lives at all. We strictly follow the innies' lives at work as they try to uncover what exactly it is they are doing at Lumen. And that was the thing about Severance that I found the most fascinating about this show. That kind of philosophical question of, if you don't remember what you did at work when you go home, and you don't remember your life outside of work when you're at work, are you even existing? Do you even exist? Are you a real person? Because no matter what state you're in, you're forgetting the other state. And if you're constantly forgetting where you are, do you even have a life? And that's definitely the stuff that kept me hooked on Severance was, first of all, this cast. This ensemble of cast I thought was fantastic. To be honest, it did take a little bit for this cast to grow on me. I wasn't in love with them the minute they came on screen. And I think it also took time for the cast themselves to get chemistry. But as this season went along, which is a very short season, it's only 9 episodes, you really do start to get attached to this cast of innies, and you really root for the innies because the innies, they don't know life outside of work. And you just kind of can't help but root for them to finally get out of that building. And the way that they give the illusion of these people not being able to leave this building is really well done. Most of these episodes are directed by Ben Stiller, and he does a fascinating job with just how he uses the camera and the editing to present to us, the viewers, how this situation works and the effects that it has on both the innies and the outies. For instance, when our cast of characters come down the elevator into work, there's a certain point where they pass where their outies become the innies, and you can totally see just through these actors' faces and performances the weight of the world that they have on the outside just drowning away as these innies take over who really haven't experienced the horrors of the outside world or the stress of having real life responsibilities. Calling out some of the cast, Adam Scott is fantastic as our character of Mark. Following his character journey, it's fascinating to get attached to Mark the innie and Mark the outie because Adam Scott has this juggling act. He's got one of the hardest jobs in the cast where he has to present the same character but show him in completely different ways in the settings that he's in. And when he's both Mark the innie and Mark the outie, you can feel that it's the same character, but there's a drastic difference between the two based on what they are going through. And Adam Scott does a really great job as an actor pulling that off. Also, Britt Lauer, the character of Helly, she was one of the more fascinating characters in the show because of what her character goes through. She is an innie who does not want to be there. She does not want to work at Lumen, but her Audi persona will not let her quit. And it brings this really fascinating question of, is Helly even a person? Should she have rights? And Zach Cherry plays the character of Dylan, and he was the comic relief of the group, and I found a lot of his comments and his little remarks and jokes actually quite funny. I thought he brought some nice levity to this otherwise pretty grounded and drama series. That is one thing that you should know about Severance going into it, is that this show is not a fast-paced show. This show is quite a slow burn. It's filled with mystery, it takes twists and turns, you're not really sure where the show is going in the first few episodes. I personally was hooked from the very first frame of the show, but I do admit that the show doesn't really start to kick into high gear about maybe episode 3 or 4. It's a more thought-provoking show than anything else, I would say, but I really liked how it made me think. And if you're interested in that kind of philosophical thinking and questioning as well, then I think that you too could have a pretty good time watching Severance. While the episodes do feel like sometimes they're just a little bit long and the pace is a little bit slow, the mystery, the characters, and just the concept alone kept the show very interesting for me. I'm really looking forward to season 2 coming out. I had a fascinating time with this series. Severance gets a solid recommend for me. But what did you guys think of Severance? Did you find it fascinating like I did, or did you find it a bit too slow? Comment down below, let me know. I want to know all your thoughts and opinions about this show. As always, guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video and checking out my channel. If you like talking all things movies, TV, and all things entertainment, why don't you go on and click that subscribe button, click that like button, click that notification bell, all that YouTube stuff, and I hope to talk to you guys again real soon.
Very good, Zach. Very good. Now it's time to go. It's okay, Zach. You'll be okay. Huh. What is Severance?